Dance interstates with spontaneous joy and ecstasy. With live
So,
drumming.
do you see yourself as an African drummer or a musician, a New York musician?
Yeah,
With an African roots.
of African roots. Afro-Rican is what I call.
Afro-Rican.
Yeah, because I'm a Puerto Rican.
Is it here? Yeah.
You like that, huh, Eddie? Afro.
Goedenavond, Myster Media. Vanavond een programma over muziek. We praten met fantuzzi, iemand die zichzelf een
Rican.
Afro-Rican muzikant noemt. Hij komt uit New York, zijn familie komt uit Puerto Rico en there's a lot of African stuff. We gaan dit interview in het Engels doen en het gaat over drummen, muziek en leven eigenlijk, want dat is de boodschap van fantuzzi. Music is life. En fantuzzi is al sinds bijna 20 jaar komt hij geregeld in Amsterdam. Hij treedt op voor Ruigoord. Hij is bij allerlei belangrijke gelegenheden betrokken. En we zijn erg blij dat we met hem kunnen praten. And this is all about drumming too. Hello, Fantuzzi.
Hello, Lucas.
How is it to be in Amsterdam for the Cannabis Cup?
Well, it's a little bit chilly at this time of the year, but I couldn't be in a better place for the Cannabis Cup.
It was quite a show, wasn't it?
Oh, it was an incredible event. And the show, the people, the whole thing was superb.
Yeah, I heard about 1,500 Americans came,
Yeah?
especially for the Cannabis Cup.
That's 1,500 people who were enrolled. So there were even more than that.
Yeah, so it needs a bigger place next year.
I think it would be a good idea. There's nothing wrong with a little elbow room, you know?
Yeah. You are a musician.
Amongst other things, yes. Mainly a musician.
And you...
Problems with this. Every time he moves his head.
Am I banging into it?
Yeah, I was okay.
It's like you, the whole tree.
True, shaking.
It seemed like the tree was alive.
With dancers and drummers, and you make a whole show out of it.
Sometimes I'm fortunate enough to have a whole entourage of exquisite, exotic dancers. Sometimes I do smaller shows, but this show was really quite the show at High Times.
Yeah, it was also in the new Milky Way.
That was a nice way to break into the new Milky Way, huh?
Yeah, it was nice, yes. Now, tell me, apart from performing, you also give workshops. You teach what you know about music and dancing and culture.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about those workshops?
Sure. Well, I use the workshops to help inspire and reawaken and kindle the fire in the hearts of the people, because everybody's a musician and everybody's a dancer. And this is a very natural thing that's in everybody. So when you bring a circle together with that kind of focus, then the musician and the dancer within each person gets a place to be allowed to express and experiment with this part of themselves.
So this is not only for professionals, this is really for people who like to live more music.
I do find it even more rewarding to work with people who haven't got a whole lot of experience, because the joy that it brings to their lives is amazing. And sometimes it doesn't take very long and they become professionals very quickly.
Okay, but now you don't come from like a music academy or a university. You've learned your music in the streets of Brooklyn, or?
Well, actually, I'm from Spanish Harlem, New York City, but and I learned lots there, but really it was always inside me, and little by little it just took over my life. At first I was doing theater, then I moved into dance, and then of course music just came in, and I do more music than I do anything else at the moment.
And you write your own songs?
I mainly, like 98% of my performances are original tunes. That way you feel, you feel it much more.
Now you travel a lot too. You recently went to Bali and to Australia. Do you get interested in the local music, the didgeridoos, for instance, in Australia?
I was fortunate enough to be there back in the 70s when it was very new at that time. And so I got to hang out with some of the Aborigines and learn some of not only the didgeridoo stuff, but their chants and their dances. And they always incorporate nature spirits, dream time, animal spirits. I learned a lot on the road. That's how I learn. I'm like a sponge. I observe wherever I go. Absorb, I mean,
And that is something you can also teach to other people.
Well, it's for me, it's just living, really. I don't even hardly consider myself a teacher, though people give me that title. I just am myself. And then from being myself, people coming near end up learning lots of things. I use the workshops for more about finding out about yourself, using it as an instrument for healing, for discovery, that kind of a thing.
I sound a rather spiritual angle here.
Yeah, well, it's all spirit. It's like somebody said, hey, Fantuzzi, do you believe in God or something like this? And I said, that's like asking a fish, do you believe in water? Life is all one. And the more we get in touch with the finer things in life, then whatever we do in the outer becomes that much more refined and that much more beautiful. Such as music, dance, theater, whatever it is that you do. You come from a place that's richer.
So, for you, music is not only making records and being on stage, it's a whole way of life.
Exactly, that's the point. It's more like a way of life. It's not about money, it's not about fame, it's not about this or that. It's really about just living your life to the fullest the way you want to. And if music is something that brings joy, then by all means do it. I do teach this vocal practice called the Riggs Method by Seth Riggs, who's the most popular and famous voice coach possibly in the world. And these are wonderful practices to help expand the voice in range and enrichen it. And I teach some Caribbean rhythms in the workshop, being a Puerto Rican of African and Indian and Hispanic roots. I throw in a little bit of that, African, Latin thing. So you learn merengues, you learn, African rhythms as well.
Okay, is it important for people to be able to speak English? Is that?
It helps, I guess, Niet spreken Nederlands. Klein beetje.
You've been in Amsterdam a lot, actually.
Well, I came here in '71 and was here with the Rainbow Gypsies, and we were a theatrical dance troupe that traveled all over the world. And I ran into them in England and came here, and then we took off from here as a group, played the Paradiso, the Milkweg, the Cosmos at that time. And a town like this, you can't help but want to come back to. So I would say I'd been back at least a couple of dozen times since then.
Okay. Fantuzzi, nice. Nice having you here, and we hope to see you soon.
Looking forward to sharing some of the joy, peace, and peace.
Wait a minute, I'll give you a drum. And
How am I going to drum with this? Just.
Can you drum with...
beautiful.